Alright, kind of a how to do video. This is for 66 Chevy Nova, which should be the same to like 63 all the way to 66. 67, I know it's a little bit difference. 67 was the first year in the Novas that they had the collapsible steering columns. 66 and older, it just, went through your chest. It was straight. So there's a little bit of difference. Mine is not stock, unfortunately, so I can't show you, but I could tell you. Nova 2s, they're 2-bolt. So the way you count the bolts, you don't count this one. I mean, this is 1 bolt, but you count the bolts literally holding the steering wheel. So this one originally had 3. Now I took them out because I'm trying to find the threads. I know it's a fine thread. I don't remember the size. I guess I can Google it, but I had some bolts here for my puller, wherever that went. So my puller was MIA. Here it is. I got this one. So it's a Grant steering wheel. Most Grants, a lot of the normal Grants, like in my 76 K5, they're 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3. So you have these. These will do 1, 2, 3. These will also do the new Chevy 2's 2-bolt style, which literally will have 1 bolt top bottom. So instead of using these 3 to pull the steering wheel, you have to use these 2. So now Grant's a little different. So Grant has an adapter. Well, they both do. But let me get this off. I can show you. I still need to stop the video to find longer bolts for these. I'm doing a swap on the steering wheel, even though I powder coated this one. It's not the permanent wheel, so this stuff already loosened. It's not a big deal. It's kind of best if you use an impact on this, because turning it wants to turn the column. So yeah. Let me pull this off here. So this one just comes right off. Now the Chevy Nova, I believe the steering wheel has to be pulled off. So you have the 2 bolts, and then you don't want to take the nut all the way off. You want to leave it on, which I got to put mine back on. Because let me take this cover off, you'll see what I mean. Here's the adapter. This one wasn't put on right. See, here's the up. My wheel right now is up, so whoever did this didn't do it right. So what you do on your stock Chevy one, you got to pop off the horn, and it has the bar. You pop that off, you'll get access to the 2 bolts. So then what you do is you don't want to take this nut all the way off. You want to take it to where it's just got a tiny lip, because what you want, that lip, for those you already know, so when you put your puller on, it won't slide off of this. It kind of helps it stay on centered. And then you would put on your stock one 2 bolts, top bottom usually, and then you tighten this, and it would pull the whole steering wheel off, which this is part of the steering wheel. My Ford truck's the same way, but this is a Grant, so it has this adapter on it, which you can take this off. You can see there's splines. You can kind of see it splined right there. So what I need to do is pull that off. The other thing I'm trying to find is where my turn signal, or not turn signal, my horn wires. I haven't seen them since I got this wagon. I want to see if they're in here. And if they are, I want to see if they work. I think I found them. Oh, here they are right here. So I need to see if these work. And then I'll get my new steering wheel. But let me go find the bolts for this, because these stock ones are not going to be long enough. You can kind of see. I put a nut on the end of mine. It has a straight bolt. I just put a nut on it so I get more surface area, but I got to find 3 longer bolts. I can get them in here. Then I'll come back and pull it up. Okay, got it all rigged up. So we're going to try to pull it off. I only had 2 bolts same length, so this one I had to make shift, but this should still work. We'll see. I'm probably going to have to get my ratchet though. It's a problem with this one. I'll have to get a screwdriver to keep it from trying to turn, because the issue is you don't have a steering wheel to hold on to. So I'm gonna get a ratchet and try to change this. Hold on. Okay, trick I do. It's not a biggie. So I like to use a 1/2 inch, get some torque, but I put let me turn this flashlight on. I put a screwdriver in. See if you can see it right here. So I just go around one bolt and the nut that you're leaving on, so you don't mess with the threads. Just put it right there, and then when you turn this, you can see you got something to pull down on. So let me get you mounted. So this should have been mounted like that, right there. Yep. There. That's how it should have been mounted, going by the top. Put that somewhere where I can lose it. Alright. So as you can see, yeah. I don't know why they have it like that, to be honest with you, but here's this. It doesn't matter too much as long as you have this straight up and down, and then this can be mounted different ways to kind of make sure when your steering wheel holes are, it's straight. So it's kind of simple. The way to actually do it is just temporarily put in the bolts for the steering wheel onto this piece, have it on your steering wheel, and then slide it onto here where it's perfectly straight. So you kind of ignore that, but yeah, because this, I don't know, this wouldn't work with this one. So if this went this way, it would still rip this off when it turned. So yeah, you know, but that's what the inside looks like. I've already had this apart before. This is all new, feels good. Bearings are nice, they're right there, you can see your bearings. I'm going to spray those again, even though I've done it. But let me go get the adapters. I have 2 different adapters. I don't know what's going to work, because they got to go on here and here. They got to have room to turn independently from this. So I have 2 different ones. I don't know which one will work. If either one of them will work, we'll find out. And then whatever I find out to work, I'll put a link in the description. I'm using I think it's a 5 bolt steering wheel. I got a really good deal, super good deal. So I was going to powder coat it, but looking at this interior, I'm not going to, being that I didn't powder coat all this. So this has a lot of chrome in it, chrome knobs, all chrome knobs, chrome strip. So I'm going to leave it. So the one in the black truck, I got a powder coat when I do that, but that one's different. That one's a pain. I'll get to that one probably another decade or so, but let me unbox. Okay, so for my setup, I won't be able to use the horn. The way these adapters are, this will go through the hole, but when you start turning this wheel, it'll yank this right out. So these are designed to go to a connector that stays solid, and then it has tabs that move on the other side that connects to it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so I did get lucky. This black one is the one that works for me. Sits down perfect. So I'll put this in the description. Kind of has a little bit of a gap. I'm sure when I screw it down, it'll get close, but yeah, because it still has a little bit of compression right here. So there'll be a little tiny gap, but that'll do. I'd rather have it black than chrome. I like this one. The other thing I got lucky is the screws that come with this wheel. They're longer than the ones here, but the threads match up, so I got super lucky. So now what I'm gonna do is temporarily attach the steering wheel to this and get it mounted straight, get this bolt in, and then I'll focus. What's cool about this one is it doesn't have the 3-piece. A lot of them have that. I showed you that 3-bolt thing that goes in, and the adapter goes onto that. This chrome one down here is like that. So it has 2, but this one was a 1-piece. That's sweet. So yeah, let me pull the steering wheel apart. Okay, just put a couple screws in, top, bottom, one corner. Make sure it lines up, and make sure that's just straight, like so. Okay, I got it mounted. I could not do it with the camera, so it's just simple. Just tighten that down. And I gotta pull this off, which I may not be able to keep the camera on this, but so with the 5 or 6, no real difference. It will be different how you put this hub on, or whatever you want to call it, because like I said, you want to put a couple screws, bolts, I guess these are bolts, in to attach the steering wheel to the adapter, and then you can figure out when you put it on, do it a little straight. Yeah, it's gonna fall. So on this one, what I have to do is take that off, and I got to put this on there, and I put the bolts back on. So you got them all tightened. And just take this, honk honk, and it should just pop in. I think maybe. Probably won't be able to do it with one hand, or I have to pop this in first and then put this on. Yep, I think that's the way it was supposed to go. Oops. It's all installed. Good to go.